Hello YouTube, in this tutorial we will learn about global versus local variables. What that means, the moment when you define any kind of variable here, that thing will become accessible to all other functions and individual lines of code that you're going to write. So var number, for example, and value will be 456, and then down there we will use that thing, let's say in some function printing, very simple stuff, nothing fancy here. We will just print things on a screen. Document write that specific number, and that's pretty much it. But of course I need to run this function because it's not enough to have it, we also need to use it. Printing, don't forget semicolon, and there you go. But if for some reason you want to use local variable with the same name here, then that thing will have priority over this global variable. So let's do that. Var number equals 777, and now automatically this function will use this thing. Okay, so official term is this one is local variable, this one is global variable. Yes, they do have a different value, but they are also inside of your PC, inside of your browser, treated as totally different things. Okay, so assumption here is if something is so important to you that you're going to define that into function, that thing must have priority over things outside of that function. Okay, so down there, if you have second function, let's say second, and if you are going to print number again, document write number, now this second function will print that number. Okay, it cannot reach here, so second, and we need to semi-close it, and also here we can add break for delimiter, and also here. So this is not mathematical operation, we are just concatenating string with our custom HTML. And there you go. So why is that so? Well, just imagine that you have some kind of border around this function. Okay, so you cannot get inside of it with another functions. So it's like closed space, and these things are like borders. So some people will say, well, is there any indirect way to access this number? Well, let me think. You can return this. For example, you can return this. Yeah, let's do this. Return number. And now if you construct your second function in such a way that it will use result of this function, then you can indirectly access this number inside. So document write will grab x as argument, so of course we must have it here, and that thing must be result from this first function. So result, let's say 1, or result from printing equals, we will call this thing. Okay, so no arguments needed. Why? Because number is already defined inside. So we are not doing any kind of mathematical operations here. We are just defining things in it, and then we are returning it into outside world. Yes, it is stupid, don't do this in practice, but it is kind of possible. Okay, because some people will say that on internet that you cannot access inside stuff of some other functions. Well, you can by using returns in originator. Okay, so now down there, second function will grab that result from printing. Okay, I think we are good. So let me remove these borders, kinda. And now result will be 777, just that, but we are grabbing that thing using really stupid approach. Don't do this into practice. If you are, for example, creating some weird kind of configuration JavaScript, but this is very ugly way of doing things. Okay, just use the KISS principle, like keep it short and simple. Okay, don't experiment too much, because sooner or later you will run into some kind of mess. Right, so that's the basic difference between global variables and local variables. Global ones are mostly at the top of your script, and local ones are inside of specific functions. So don't return that thing to the rest of the world. Better approach is to have global variable so you can use it in another functions. So you can play, but don't do that too much. Right, so that was it. Very short tutorial. Thank you for watching. See you next one.